Hello friends, today we are going to talk about Joshua Becker's book, Things That Matter. Today's world is as fast-paced as it is confusing. Every moment, something or the other pulls us toward it. Mobile notifications, constant social media scrolling, emails, advertisements, and the noise all around us. In such an environment, it becomes extremely difficult to recognize our true purpose and stay firm on it. In his book, Things That Matter, Becker explains how these distractions suppress our deep desires and values. When we are busy seeing, hearing, or doing something new every moment, the real person inside us slowly starts to disappear. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what do you do first? Most people check their phones. A habit has been formed of checking what's happening somewhere, whether it's on Instagram, WhatsApp, or a news app. This habit slowly turns into an addiction. We start to feel that we are very busy and doing a lot, but in reality, we are moving away from our inner voice. Distraction is an enemy that we cannot see, but it hollows us out from within. We hear so much noise that our heart's voice gets suppressed. Joshua Becker says that distractions are not just digital. Many times the things around us also distract us, like the clutter of things in the house and the unnecessarily hoarded items that not only occupy physical space but also mental space. We get entangled in things that are not important at all. Collecting many things does not bring satisfaction, but rather a desire for more. In this age, we forget what real happiness is. To live a simple, meaningful life, it is essential that we give up the things that are not important. Another major distraction in today's society is comparison. We start to feel that our own lives are insignificant by looking at the success, lifestyle, and achievements of others. Social media is the biggest culprit for this. Everyone is showing their best life, and we think that we have been left behind somewhere. But Becker says that comparison is a trap that not only reduces our happiness, but also deviates us from our real goal. When we start to imitate someone else's life, we begin to lose our own identity. In such a situation, it is important that we ask ourselves this question: am I living the life that I have consciously chosen, or am I just drifting with the flow? Do I know my core values? Am I chasing the things that are truly important to me? The first step to fighting distraction is awareness. It is about knowing who is distracting us and how. When we know what is consuming our attention, only then can we control it. Becker suggests that we should clearly define our priorities. When we know what is most important to us, it becomes easy to say no to other things. Another powerful way is to embrace minimalism. This doesn't just mean having fewer things, but also keeping only those things around us and in our minds that give us peace and clarity. When physical clutter is less, mental clutter also automatically starts to decrease. A clean and organized environment in the house also organizes our mind. Becker also says that we need to be purposeful in every aspect of our lives, be it time management, relationships, or career decisions. Living without a purpose is like driving a car without a direction. We may be moving fast, but if the direction is wrong, we move even further away from our destination. So it is important that we consciously design our lives. Take a small example. Suppose you love to read books, but you use your phone all day and get tired by night. Then you think that you don't have time to read, but the reality is that your time is being consumed by distracting things. If you deliberately keep your phone aside for 30 minutes and give that time to reading, then it will slowly turn into a habit, and you will be able to nurture your real interest. Becker's message is clear. Distraction is your enemy, and purpose is your true friend. The more you cut out distractions, the more clarity and satisfaction will come into your life. And once you get clarity, your energy, attention, and determination also increase. Another way to fight distraction is to create digital boundaries, setting a screen time limit on your phone, uninstalling some apps, and turning off notifications. These small steps help bring back your focus. Becker suggests that you should take some purposeful quiet time every day. No noise, no screens, just some time to connect with yourself. During this time, you can write a journal, go for a walk, or sit for a while and think about where your life is heading. Relationships are also a big area where distractions quietly creep in. We are not fully present even when we are with our loved ones, checking our phone in the middle of a conversation, thinking about something else while listening. All these things disconnect us. But when we consciously dedicate our time and prioritize our relationships, true connections are formed, and these connections ultimately bring happiness and fulfillment. Joshua Becker also says that a purposeful life is not just for oneself, but also for others. When we remove distractions and understand our inner passions, we can get involved in work that is useful to others as well, whether it's a social cause, volunteer work, or mentoring someone. Distraction makes us selfish, but pure purpose creates a spirit of service in us. Finally, it is important to understand that distractions will always be there. Technology will keep advancing, and social expectations will also keep changing. But if you practice listening to your inner voice, keep your priorities clear, and start living a purposeful life, then no distraction can move you from your path. It is difficult to find clarity and peace in this world, but it is not impossible. Every day when you wake up, ask yourself a simple question: what am I going to give importance to today? If your answer is related to your deep values, then you will know that you are on the right path. Distraction is the enemy of purpose. This is not just a quote, but a reality that we have to consciously challenge every day. But once you hold on to your purpose, no amount of noise in the world can shake you. This is true freedom, living your inner truth without any deviation and with complete clarity. Fear is an emotion that resides inside every human being. The only difference is that some people understand this fear and move forward from it, while some people get entangled in this fear and stop. Joshua Becker says in his book, Things That Matter, that fear paralyzes progress, meaning that fear stops our growth from the root. We want to do something, take a new step, think something different, but as soon as fear comes to our mind, we stop ourselves. And this fear comes in many forms, like what will people say, what if I fail, or the fear of not believing in myself.
Imagine you have a very good idea inside you, a dream that you want to fulfill, but you don't take any action because you are afraid that people will judge you, that they will make fun of you, or that they will say, "What a madness." Then you suppress that idea. Slowly, that dream also dies inside you, and then one day you ask yourself, what if I had tried that time? Joshua Becker says that this fear of judgment is the most common fear that keeps people tied to their comfort zone. A comfort zone is a place where everything is familiar. There are not many risks, but there is no growth either. Here we feel safe, but we are hollow from within. Real satisfaction and change come only when we leave this comfort zone, and for that, it is important to face fear. The fear of failure also stops us very deeply. We think, what will happen if we try and fail? What will people think? How will we face ourselves? But if you look closely, there is a risk of failure in every work. No big task is without risk. Those who have been successful in life have also failed many times, but they did not stop. They made their fear a ladder, not a wall. Becker says that it is not essential to completely eliminate fear, because fear is a normal emotion, but it is important that we face, understand, and manage that fear. Taking action even after being afraid is called courage. Many times, we wait for the fear to end before taking action, but the truth is that until we take action, the fear will never go away. Take an example. Suppose someone is afraid of public speaking. He thinks that he will not be able to speak in front of the audience, his voice will tremble, and people will laugh. Now, if he keeps thinking about this fear again and again, then he will never be able to go on stage. But as soon as he tries for the first time, even if he is nervous, he has still taken a step. Then his self-confidence increases a little. The second time will be even better. This is the process. To reduce your fear, face your fear. Becker also says that insecurity, that is, not believing in oneself, is also a form of fear. We feel that we are not worthy of that thing, we do not have that skill, or we are not as smart as we should be. But all these thoughts stop us from taking action. We undervalue ourselves and overvalue others. But if we start with a small step, then slowly that self-confidence that we need starts to come inside us. The first step to facing fear is to recognize it. We should ask ourselves, why am I not able to do this work? Am I afraid of failure? Am I afraid of rejection? Or do I not believe in myself? When we can clearly recognize this fear, only then can we find a solution for it. Becker says a powerful thing, that fear often grows in imagination, not in reality. We are afraid of things that have not happened yet, which are only in our minds. But as soon as we take a step, we realize that things were not as scary as we thought. For example, when someone apologizes to someone for the first time or expresses their feelings, they think that the other person will think badly of them. But when they speak with honesty, things turn out surprisingly well. Joshua Becker also suggests that we should repeatedly remind ourselves that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act even after being afraid. When we create this mindset, our relationship with fear begins to change. Instead of running away from fear, we start talking to it, and then fear also becomes our teacher, not an enemy. Another way to fight fear is to create a support system. When we have people around us who encourage us and believe in our growth, our self-confidence also starts to grow. But if we are among people who always talk negatively and reject every idea, then our fear deepens. So we should keep such people around us who make us better. Becker believes that meaningful change begins where fear is. As long as we keep running away from fear, we will not be able to unleash our inner potential. Fear is like that door, behind which growth, freedom, and satisfaction are hidden. If you don't open that door, you will always be trapped in that room where there is only regret. Many times, to face fear, there is no need to take a big step. Just taking one small step is enough. Suppose you want to start a project, but are afraid of whether it will be successful or not. Then the first step can be that you share that idea with a trusted person, get their opinion, then do a little research, then create a small draft. These small steps slowly lead you toward a big change. Challenging fear is a daily practice. Every day we should do something that feels a little uncomfortable. When we repeatedly push the boundaries of our comfort zone a little more, our inner courage increases. Becker says that a comfort zone is like a soft prison, like silken chains. Everything looks good from the outside, but from the inside, it is stopping us. Coming out of fear is not just for personal success, but also for deep happiness. When we fight with fear, a satisfaction comes inside us that we have won over ourselves. This is the path of inner growth, and then we become an inspiration not only for ourselves, but also for others. Finally, Joshua Becker's message is clear. There is no need to be afraid of fear. There is a need to understand and face it. When we surrender to fear, our potential gets locked. But when we have the courage to face that fear, our world begins to change. So, the next time fear arises in your mind, recognize it, understand it, and take a step against it. Even if it is a small one. Remember, fear can stop you, but you can also defeat it. You just need to start. There is definitely something in all of our lives that pulls us back again and again. Some decisions that were wrong, some words that we could not say, some opportunities that were lost. And then the regret and the associated shame of all those things stay with us like an invisible weight. Joshua Becker, in his book Things That Matter, emphasizes the topic that the past doesn't define you, meaning your past doesn't determine who you are today or who you can be tomorrow. If you are still letting your old decisions, failures, or guilt influence you, then you are losing the power to live your life today. Many times, we repeat our old mistakes so many times that they become our identity. Suppose someone once did something that was proven to be wrong. Maybe someone wasted time in a wrong relationship. Someone left a job and later regretted it. Or someone took a decision that broke someone's heart. Now, even though that person is trying to move forward, a voice in their mind keeps saying, "You are the one who made this mistake. You cannot improve." And from here, an inner guilt is created that slowly reduces self-respect. Josh Becker says that this regret and shame become the hidden anchors of our life. They are not visible from the outside, but they keep us stuck there and do not let us move forward. We think that we are carrying our past, but the reality is that our past is carrying us downward to a place where there is neither freedom nor joy.
Now, the question arises, is it easy to forget the past? Absolutely not. Human memory is not selective. But Becker explains that letting go of the past does not mean you will erase it, but that you will not allow that memory to define you from now on, that you will not let its control come over your present. It is very important to understand that we all make mistakes, and those mistakes make us human. If we only made perfect decisions, we would never be able to grow. Every failure, every regret teaches us something. But when we get entangled in that mistake, when we repeatedly rewind that situation in our minds, then we can neither learn anything from it nor move forward. Becker shares a powerful idea: live in the present and purposefully. When you let go of your past, only then does that energy remain with you to live your present well. Think about it. If your mental energy is always stuck in the guilt of what you lost before, then what will be left for today? You cannot be happy even if you want to, because your mind will always be looking backward. Take a relevant example. Suppose someone did not take their studies seriously in school or college, and now they feel that their life is ruined. They think that if they had worked hard at that time, they would have been somewhere else today. Now this thought is stopping them from doing something new today. But Becker says that your future does not depend on what you did not do yesterday, but on what you are going to do today. When you learn from your past and take a new step for today, only then can you truly change your life. In our culture also, people often make someone's past identity their permanent label. For example, oh, he failed before, he never did anything well, or he makes very emotional decisions. These kinds of labels tie people down. But it is important that we do not put those labels on ourselves. Every person can change, can grow. The past is just one chapter, not the whole book. Becker also says that letting go of one's past is not possible without forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness. Forgiving oneself is not easy, but it is necessary. When you tell yourself, yes, I made a mistake, but I have become better from it, then you give yourself an opportunity for a new beginning. Forgiving yourself is not a weakness, but it is a very big strength. Journaling can be very helpful in this process. Becker suggests that we write our regrets in detail, clearly, and then write what we have learned from them, then close that page and symbolically imagine that now we have closed that guilt. It is a small ritual, but its mental effect is very deep. A purposeful life is possible only when we take our decisions consciously, not under the influence of guilt and shame. When the past controls us, all our decisions become defensive. For example, I will not take a risk now because I failed before, or I will not get attached to anyone because I got hurt before. But living a purposeful life requires courage. That courage which says, I know I fell before, but now I will try again. Joshua Becker also emphasizes that letting go does not mean forgetting.
It means that we learn to look at that past event from a new perspective, like an old wound that has now healed, but its scar reminds us that we endured it and also came out of it. This mindset empowers us. It does not scare us. Becker also explains that many times we make others' mistakes our own inner shame. We were broken because of someone else, but now we start to blame ourselves. For example, you were in a bad relationship, and now you blame yourself. How was I so innocent? But that was not your mistake. That was your learning phase. Judging yourself with the awareness of that time is unfair. So to come out of the past, self-compassion is also necessary. Be soft on yourself. Just like you encourage your friend after their mistake, say some loving words to yourself as well. Talk to yourself. Let yourself heal. The most beautiful thing Josh Becker says is that life gives you a new page at every moment. No matter how much you get entangled in the old chapters, your page for today is empty. You can write whatever you want in it. So why not start a new narrative? A narrative that will show your strength, celebrate your growth, and give you the right to live the life you truly deserve. So the next time your mind reminds you of your old decisions, tell yourself, yes, they were a part of me, but they are not me. You are much more than that. Your past can be a part of your story, but it does not determine your future. The real power is in the fact that you can rewrite that story today from this very moment. The past does not define you. This line, as simple as it sounds, is just as transformative. You just need to have the courage to live it. In the society we live in, we are taught some default scripts from a young age. For example, get good grades in studies, then get a good job, then buy a big house and a big car so that people consider you successful. This whole system is a kind of invisible programming that tells us what a good life looks like. But Joshua Becker says that all of this is a false narrative. That is, a fake story that culture sells us. Culture tells us that happiness is found through status, peace is in competition, and fulfillment comes from buying things. But the truth is the exact opposite. Think about it. When you see someone on Instagram on their luxurious vacation or a friend buys a new car, a slight restlessness starts inside. A comparison begins. It feels like we are left behind, that there is something lacking in our life. This is the trap of culture. It repeatedly reminds you that what you have is not enough and you need something more. A better phone, better clothes, a better job, a better lifestyle. But Joshua Becker says that while running in this race, we forget that real happiness does not come from the outside, it comes from within.
The biggest strength of this false narrative is that it works so subtly that we don't even know it. We consider ourselves to be people who think independently, but our thoughts are already influenced by this system. Culture teaches us that the more you earn, the more valuable you will be. But Becker asks, should your value be determined by money? Can a person's worth be measured by their salary? This way of thinking turns people into machines, where production is everything and inner peace has no value. This culture not only glorifies status, but also competition. From a young age, we are taught that being ahead of others is success. Being first in school, getting a promotion in the office, showing the most achievements in the social circle. All this is put into our subconscious. But because of this thought, people become anxious, frustrated, and can never be truly satisfied. Because no matter how much you achieve, someone will always be ahead of you. And then you ask yourself, am I enough? Consumerism, that is, the illusion of making one's life better by buying everything, is the third major lie of culture. New gadgets, branded clothes, luxury items. The message of all these is that if you have these things, then your life will be better. But the truth is that these things only give temporary excitement, not permanent satisfaction. Becker says that the more things we collect, the more mental clutter we have inside. The need never ends, and in this cycle, we forget to recognize our real needs. Joshua Becker asks us to challenge whether we are blindly following these cultural narratives, or have we ever stopped and thought about what we really want? Are we making our decisions ourselves, or has society created a script for us that we are just acting out? Becker suggests that we have to reject these default scripts so that we can write our own stories. The meaning of our life will not come from the outside We have to define it ourselves. Suppose you have a good job, a good house, and everything looks perfect from the outside, but from within, you feel hollow. You wake up every morning and it feels like a burden. Now culture will say, maybe you need to earn more money, maybe take another vacation, or buy something new so that you feel good. But Becker says that the real question is, are you living the life that your heart wants? Many people spend their whole lives in this false comfort zone. They think that stability is success and taking risks is foolishness. But when an inner voice says, this is not my path, then culture tries to suppress that voice. It says, adjust, dream later, be realistic. But this suppression slowly turns into frustration and dissatisfaction. Becker says that if you start listening to your inner voice and start making your life decisions based on it, then you slowly start coming out of the lies of culture. And only then can you design your own purposeful life. This means that you can recognize your values, accept your strengths, and consciously choose your beliefs. Living a purposeful life is not just about buying fewer things or living a simple life. Its real meaning is that every step, every decision of yours should be with a clear purpose. Why are you working? Why are you giving time to something? Why are you in a relationship? If you decide the answers to all these things yourself, then you have come out of the lies of culture. Becker also says that cultural pressure is everywhere: family, friends, media, and even in our education system. People say, settle down, buy a house, have children, and then everything will feel right. But has anyone ever asked, what is your definition of happiness? True change begins from asking this question. This journey is not easy. Fighting with culture means thinking differently from the whole system. When you say, I don't care about status, or I don't want more things, then people look at you strangely. But if you really want to live a purposeful life, then you will not need the approval of others. Your peace, your clarity will be your reward. Becker says that these false narratives are not just distractions, but they also lock our real potential. We grow up, but we stop dreaming big. We become realistic, but we forget to be passionate. Culture says, settle down, and our heart says, I want to fly. Now the choice is yours. Whose voice will you listen to? Letting go of the cultural scripts means that now you are the author of your own life. You are deciding what your story will be. You are yourself thinking about what your definition of success is. And when this change comes, then true freedom and fulfillment come into your life. So the next time culture tells you, you need this to make your life feel better, then stop for a moment and ask yourself, do I really need this? Do I want this because I need it or because society has said that I need it? This self-awareness will lead you toward the path that is truly your own. Culture has written a story for you, but you can change that story. And this is Becker's real message. Reject the false narratives and write your own. Who are you? What do you need? And what is the real purpose of your life? You decide all this, no one else. This is the beginning of a meaningful life. Who doesn't understand the need for money? In today's world, money is a tool that can make our life easy. Good food, a good house, education, medical assistance, comfort, and even freedom. But Joshua Becker, in his book, Things That Matter, explains to us a very important thing. Wealth is not a goal. That is, money is important, but it should not be the ultimate purpose of life. Unfortunately, today, many people are engaged in this race to just earn more and more, increase their income, and then think that that is the meaning of their life. Although if Becker says that just earning money cannot be a real purpose, if you think about it a little, then this thing is understandable. From a young age, we are taught, study so that you get a good job so that you earn good money, and earn money so that you are happy. But in this, the question is never asked, what do you want to be? What are your values? What gives you peace? In this race for money, we are all running, but we never stop and think about where we are going and why.
Joshua Becker forces us to think about whether we are using money as a tool or have we ourselves become a tool of money. There are many people who work day and night, do overtime, and work 2 jobs just for the reason that their income increases. But when they are asked whether they are actually happy, the answer
is often vague. All their time goes into increasing their income, but relationships, health, peace, and personal growth are left behind. Becker says that having more money does not mean having more meaning. Many people are in high-paying jobs but feel hollow from within. They are busy all day, but when they go to sleep tired at night, they feel that today I did not do any meaningful work. The reason for this is that they have made earning their identity. They feel that their worth is determined only by their bank balance. But real wealth does not come only with numbers. It comes from satisfaction, purpose, and connection. It is important to understand how money is being used. If you're using money for your goals, passions, and to help people, then that money is truly being used. But if you're earning money just to impress others, to show off luxury, or just to earn more money, then that money itself becomes a burden. You have to give so much time for that money that you become distant from your children, your health, and your hobbies. And then you realize that you have lost everything for money that money cannot buy. Becker also says that chasing money is an endless cycle. When you earn 50,000, you think that if you get 1 lakh, everything will be fine. Then when you start getting 1 lakh, you think that now you need 2 lakhs so that more things can come. And this cycle never stops. People can never be satisfied because their focus is only on earning, not on living. Many such people have been seen who say, once I just get the house, then I'll live in peace. Or only if I get this promotion, I will take time to relax. But as soon as one milestone is fulfilled, a new goal comes in front. And in this process, those people forget that life is for living now, not later. Joshua Becker emphasizes that we have to define our definition of success ourselves, not from society. Society will say that success is a big salary, a big house, foreign travel. But you ask yourself, do you really need this? Do you want good time with your family? Do you want to follow your passion? Do you want to create something meaningful? If yes, then your goal is different from money. Becker's point is that when you can recognize your purpose and then money comes to support that purpose, then that money increases your growth. But when the purpose itself becomes money, then a person works like a machine, just for earning. His heart is left behind. He loses himself. So friends, this was the summary of our book today. Do let us know how you liked it in the comments, and thank you for listening to the summary till the end.